plucking to the packaging.
to the packaging. Everything,
Everything
is
is
handcrafted. So when our women they pluck the tender leaves, it's the most tender edge of the leaves. And if they pluck today, after 3 days or 4 days, they can pluck again. So in a week, they pluck almost twice, but the weight is less. And then because this is where the chemical composition is perfect for the orthodox and green tea.
Exactly. That is why
That is why it costs more.
it costs more.
And
And
then this is a handmade.
everything is handcrafted.
Everything is
from
handcrafted.
plucking to the packaging.
To the packaging. Everything,
Everything
is
is
handcrafted. So there is no
Not
machine
like
used.
no machine is used, and you don't get year-old tea. What you
Year-old,
get
yeah.
is directly we source from plucking to packaging. The whole process is only about 10 to 15 days.
10 to 15 days, yes. That is what.
So you are getting fresh tea. So for getting that fresh tea, you are paying a premium on that.
Premium, and also you are empowering local marginalized communities, indigenous communities who are otherwise marginalized for various reasons, socio-economically. And if you're buying Elixir tea or PRB tea, then it is actually you are supporting those women and their families, the education of their children. So, for example, this lady who has been making tea for us, she has received in the last almost 2 years about 50,000 rupees from tea. So, this is a quite considerable amount of time considering what she would have got otherwise.
When
Well,
our audience would think 51,000 is not a big sum of money.
yeah,
But let me tell you, the GDP per capita income Assam is very, very low.
very, very low.
So-
And the wage here is only $2.
$2.
One
That is
hundred-
also if you are lucky.
You are lucky.
There is no middle person.
Exactly. No
So
middle person.
50,000 rupees is a very big amount here.
And another thing I want to say, so the tea leaves, otherwise if this woman sells the tea leaves, raw leaves, she earns only 25 rupees a kg. However, from a 1 kg tea, she can produce about 250 grams of green tea or orthodox tea, and that tea gives her 8 times more price than her raw tea tree leaves price. So that means she is making 8 times profit, including her 1 hour waste to make the tea for the 250 grams of tea. So that is the value it is being added to her tea she is producing.
So similarly, Elixir Tea also have done. We are setting up a fund. So all of our sales, 2% will be going towards upliftment of this indigenous community who makes this. It will be used towards their education and skill improvement, so they can have a greater way of life.
Exactly. So if this another contribution comes, then that will help them in their well-being. And if their well-being is good, they can also contribute to the nature. They are not harvesting unsustainably the resources, particularly soil, other natural resources. So this is what our mandate is from our end, that once they become aware about all this and they start doing a sustainable living, then their dependence on natural resource harvest in a more exploitative manner will go down, and the nature and ecosystem will be better.
Exactly, that aligns with our goal of sustainability.
Sustainable.
And we are moving in our packaging. We have tried, since we are a very early stage company, we have eliminated plastic to the extent which we can afford right now.
Exactly.
Once we are in a proper stage where we can minimize or completely
Remove the
plastic,
non-biodegradable plastic polythene. Yeah.
so we will be moving towards that. So our mission is that to uplift these communities and make people taste the authentic taste of tea.
Tea.
So Assam and Darjeeling, but there is very much blended. You get blended tea,
Yes.
and we singly source, single
And
source,
yes, single source farm at this moment. And these are small tea gardens by the local indigenous women and their family, which is a small tea garden. We call it homestead tea garden. Within the homestead, around their house, they have about say 0.5 hectare, maybe less than that. Sometimes 1 hectare. Some large families have 2 to 3 hectares of tea gardens, but mostly these are leased out to lazy who are exploiting these tea garden owners because they don't have management skills. So that's why what they do, they buy these tea gardens, the small tea gardens per bigha, which is about 1/7 of a hectare, and that per bigha they pay only the lazy pay only 2,000 to 3,000 rupees. However, per bigha of tea garden can produce only raw leaf value of 75,000 rupees.
So he's pocketing
So-
himself around 70,000.
70,000 rupees from per bigha of tea garden. So this is where we are coming and trying to change it.
Exactly.
And it is not a one-day effort. It has been going on, and it will go for a long way before we bring in more and more, local women who are handcrafting tea for their own benefit, own empowerment, and own economic and financial security.
So as Elixir Tea will be sourcing our products from you, means PB, and after that we are going live shortly in UK, US, and Europe also. But we are also looking at other international markets where tea is very good, say Australia. So once we do that, as you mentioned a number, we are increasing their wages by 8 times.
Yeah.
So doing that will almost triple it.
Yeah. And then, currently at least 10 to 15 women are producing tea, handcrafting tea. Handcrafted tea. So we are organizing 2 to 3, trainings for these women and new additional women, new coming women who would like to, join this handcrafting movement of tea. And hopefully, if the market grows, like if the customer starts buying this tea and they reorder, then there will be more need for handcrafting tea. And as I must tell you, that handcrafting of tea is a very tedious process, and it is like you go spend an hour to collect 1 kg of raw leaf, because this is very tender and small, so you have to very carefully pluck them. And then after that you need to spend for green tea, you need to spend at least 1 hour to process it. So these 2 hours of investment for green tea is quite high for them. And this is from this 1 kg of tea leaf, after processing, one will get only 250 grams of brewable tea. So that means it's only 1/4 of what you raw use. And then to make hundreds of kg of tea, it's very difficult. So that's why this is a very, currently this is a very niche production and niche market. Only we are able to supply to certain number of users. Hopefully this will be increased provided there is a market. Once the market grows, more women will come and join the hand making, hand process tea, movement in this locality.
Market is there.
Yeah, I mean, market is there, but as soon as people start picking up, that's what I mean. Suppose this year the production is say 100 kg. So if we know that people are starting to buy these, then next year we have to increase the production with a predictive sell amount, sell volume, okay, 200 kg. So then we have to train people accordingly. And remember, an woman doesn't become an tea artisan in 1 year.
Rome was not built in the day.
Yes, Rome was not built. So she may take 1 season or 2 seasons to bring her perfection to make the perfect cup of tea for you. And if that time is not given, then you will not get quality tea. So what we do at PV also, we get this tea from newcomers, new processing women. So we don't send it to the market. So for a whole season, we keep them, ask them to make tea, and they are making it and giving it in very small quantity. Those are all tested and brewed differently, and tested by different people. And then once we are sure that okay, this quality is perfect to go to the market, then only it goes to the market. So there is an investment of training them, making them perfect for over a season, sometimes more than a season. So that's why these tea are not cheap.
Exactly.
These are costs involved.
You have your own quality standards. Then once the product come to us, we have in-house quality experts who, after giving green signal, only that goes to packaging.
Goes to packaging.
And say what comes from you, 10 to 20% goes rejected.
Rejected, yeah.
Only the quality, we believe in giving quality because they
Yeah.
people are paying the premium for it.
Premium for it.
So we believe in giving the quality.
I think that is very important because when you have a premium product, it should be also giving the premium taste.
Obviously.
And those who loves this tea, we have found that nobody is going back to another tea brand until now. Even I myself drink the green tea and orthodox tea from PB. And I have tested probably 20, 30 different varieties of tea, orthodox and green tea till now, last 2 to 3 years. I've never found one which gives this quality. The problem is because most of these orthodox and green teas are made from mature tea leaves, which is not, good, and you cannot get good tea if you make it from a mature tea. So this is where PB is very particular about.
Exactly, as we said before only, the tea that you were drinking is 8 to 9 months old already.
Already,
It is a last year service because supply chain is very long. But here, buying from Elixir tea gets rid of most freshest batch
of the tea.
tea.
So large tea gardens are monocropping. However, in a small tea garden, homestead tea garden, it's not monocropping. It has everything else under tea garden, and it's a small, small disturbance within the natural area, not like 100 hectares. So it's like only in a village you have 5 hectares, 6 hectares are only tea garden. But then there are many other things are produced on those lands, which is again a sustainability perspective. It's ecological sustainability, not exactly financial sustainability also. Because if you have only tea, if somehow this production is not good, so your sustainability is very much at risk.